Well, hey everybody, this is Norman. We're here at the end of week 8 of the legislative session, just 1 week left to go. Debbie wasn't able to join me again on this video, but she'll be back next week. So just a recap of week 8. We'll start off with, this is Teen Pact Week. For those of you who aren't familiar with Teen Pact Leadership Schools, they take kids to the Capitol for a week and they just, in a really hands-on way, teach them how their state government works, but also how they as Christians can be leaders in their communities. You can go to teenpact.com to learn more. Great program for young people here in the state and across the nation. But as we jump into the bills, there's several I want to talk to you about today, and we'll start off with critical race theory. So first of all, House Bill 1012. This is the bill that said in college, students can't be forced to affirm or accept, they call it divisive ideas, but it's basically critical race theory. This bill made it out of the Senate committee this week and is headed to the Senate floor. The other bill, 1337, this is the one that says in K-12, K through 12, we're not going to be teaching critical race theory. That bill died in a Senate committee Thursday morning. There's talk of a smokeout later next week. I don't know if that'll be able to happen or not, but one of those bills is on the Senate floor. One of them has died in committee. Next, we move on to House Bill 1223. It's a bill that we had a lot of concerns with. Basically, it said that a pregnant minor can give consent to medical treatments surrounding her pregnancy, not counting abortion, if they can't get a hold of their parents, or if they do get a hold of the parents, but the doctor makes a different judgment. So basically, right now, if this bill goes into law, a pregnant minor can go with her doctor and she can consent to something even if the parents recommend otherwise. So we could easily have a situation where a parent is saying, hey, based on what I know about my kid, based on her history, etc., we think this is best. And the doctor can disagree and override and go with the girl's opinion instead. So that's made it all the way through the legislative process. We weren't able to stop it. It's now headed to Governor Noem's desk, where we're hoping she'll take a really hard look at it and consider vetoing it. It wasn't written right. Next, we'll move on to House Bill 1133. It's a bill that makes it just a little bit easier, a little bit cheaper to do an adoption. It says that DSS will cover the costs for the home study in private adoptions. This bill has had good momentum. It has one final vote in the Senate. We're hoping to see passage there and to see House Bill 1133 pass through. And then the last bill I'll talk about is just an easy one, and I say easy because it's just had a really good victory. So House Bill 1113 was a forced abortion update. We've talked about this one in a couple of other videos. The idea that it's a crime to make a threat to try and force a woman to get an abortion. That bill has now gone through the whole process unanimously, every committee, every floor, and is headed to the governor's desk. So those are just a few updates of the bills I wanted to tell you guys about. You can see all the bills. I believe there were 20 this year that we took action on our legislative radar. So FHAaction.org, go to our legislative radar to see all the bills that we've been working on. Some of them you can see their final result. And also go to our news feed where all of our different blog posts are. Our most recent one was on marijuana. There were over 40 bills this year dealing with the topic of marijuana. You can read our recent article giving a summary of that, as well as a bunch of other topics: critical race theory, parental rights, commercial surrogacy, etc. And then be watching for details on our legislative report events. Veto Day is the end of this month, end of March. So early April, we'll be doing our legislative report events in Rapid City and Sioux Falls. So come join us for a presentation and a lunch on all the different bills that we took action on this year, the different stories behind them, and the results that we saw. But again, go to FHAaction.org for all of these details. Watch for our report event details coming up soon. And thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next week for week 9.